Hello everyone and welcome to
Hello.
week 5 of the Damn Casuals podcast.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, yeah. We're playing Hearthstone once again.
Yeah. So, actually fairly light on news this week. I mean, not a huge amount going around. Got some bits and pieces for you.
Bits and bobs, yeah.
Bits and bobs. So, let's start with releases.
Like we always do, yeah.
So, Elder Scrolls Online got its full release. If you're willing to spend, in the UK, 50 quid plus subscription fees.
Which is, yep.
Which is... no thank you.
Good luck selling a game, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah,
in my opinion, that is completely off the scale. I mean, there are subscription games, and then there's that. I mean, people who are maybe considering getting that game are definitely not going to buy that because it's 50 quid is a lot of money. That's more than it would cost for Titanfall, and I thought that was a premium game.
I'm pretty sure I said like something along the lines of this, like the £50 thing plus subscription to you ages ago, right? And then you dismissed it, like they said, oh no, that's not going to happen. Do you remember that? They kind of like...
Yes and no.
They kind of said they weren't going to do it, and now they are doing it.
I didn't expect the front up price to be so huge, considering the monthly is like £10 to £15 a month or something.
It is ridiculous.
I mean, it's stupid.
I wasn't even going to consider it if it was £50 alone without subscription. But
yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know many people that would be willing to spend that kind of money, particularly on an MMO. I mean, yeah, sure, there are no microtransactions, which is great, but I don't know that game warrants the... Well, if you say you play it for a year, that's 10 times to 170 quid you've just dropped on that game. 170.
that is ridiculous.
That is stupid.
Wow, oh yeah. But saying that, if you did that to World of Warcraft, that'd be a hell of a lot as well.
But I don't know, I've never played World of Warcraft.
How much is World of Warcraft? I don't know.
I mean, I'm assuming it doesn't have a base cost of 50 quid.
Yeah, no. It's just got...
I think it's got a fairly high monthly subscription now. I think it's like 15, 20 quid, maybe. Yeah, so, well, the other release that came out, or well, was given a date this week, was new Lord of the Rings game. What was the name of it again?
Shadow of Mordor.
Shadow of Mordor, the one where you play as a murdered ranger who comes back with like white abilities, so you can like phase in and out of the real world. Kind of cool concept, yeah.
I thought you were playing as Ezio, you were telling me.
Yeah, well, for those who have seen the gameplay video, when he's climbing up that tower, you can definitely tell that they've used assets from the Assassin's Creed series. Like, you can definitely tell, like, the climbing animations are very, very similar. And it was pointed out by one of the Assassin's Creed developers or animators or whatever.
Oh, right, but they're not going to
But I mean, I still think the concept of the game is really cool, even if it has drawn assets from other places, which isn't always a bad thing.
I mean,
or isn't necessarily a bad thing.
When was the last good Lord of the Rings game? I can't remember.
Battle of Middle-earth? No, there were some good ones. I mean, I never really played many of them, but there were quite a few that got some good reviews.
I never played, what's it called? Lord of the Rings Online, so...
I played a bit of that. That wasn't great, but the actual, like, full games, rather than MMO games, have been quite good. Yeah, its date's been given in October, releasing around the same time as... Oh, what was the other game that's coming out in October?
Aliens
Colonial Marines, that's the one.
Not Colonial Marines.
Colonial Marines. Alien, whatever it was.
Isolation, was it?
Aliens Isolation, that was it.
Yeah, and it's being developed by Monolith Productions.
Monolith. It's being developed by Monolith.
The guys who did Fear.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool, I thought. So, I mean, I'm interested in it. I don't know how much it will cost when it comes out. But yeah, I think that's definitely got some potential to it. They've also announced some pre-order bonuses. So if you pre-order, then you can get access to various gear.
Oh yeah, I read about that. But I think people are done with pre-orders. Like, I think people...
You say that, but Titanfall and especially PC Dark Souls 2 got a lot of pre-orders.
Yeah.
And then you just have to look at Goat Simulator.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
How many pre-orders do you think that got?
Why did people pre-order?
Considering it's the top-selling game for Steam this week. I know that's not exactly, a huge thing, but even then.
True.
God damn it, I hate these dudes. But yeah, so that was pretty much it for releases though, wasn't it? I mean, it was fairly quiet week.
Yeah, what's happening in games industry?
Taking
us out of the job.
Well, kind of related to releases though was the Titanfall for 360. In France, a certain vendor, I don't know which one, actually released copies of the game early on 360, even though the servers aren't up, so you can't actually play the damn thing.
Okay.
But when they did release the copies, it was discovered that you would need a gigabyte's worth of hard drive space on your 360. So people using the 4 gig or the arcade versions are going to have issues. But then that's not anything new because I mean, what was it? The GTA 5 for 360 was like 8 gig.
Yeah. I remember when I installed that on my
PS3. Huge. But that's just the kind of specs you need these days. I mean,
I don't get why
there's a reason that they're past-gen consoles now. It's because they can't run the stuff.
Why can't you just play from the disc? That's what I never got. Why do you have to install stuff on the hard drive?
Because the disc can't store that much data.
No, but like Blu-rays can. And the data's already on the disc when you're installing it.
I don't know specifics.
Yeah.
I mean, I could hypothesize, but I'd most probably be wrong. I'd have thought it's something to do with the fact that you can't render a game of that like detail and quality from a disc. I don't know.
I mean, when I installed Metal Gear Solid 4, which is really old, I can't remember when that came out, ages ago, that was like 8 gigs at the time. So, I mean, 1 gig isn't...
I mean, the point of the matter is that old gen consoles are way outdated and are holding back, or have been holding back, like game development. I mean, you just have to look at how games have had to be like stripped down for the 360 and PS3 generation because they can't handle like more modernized games.
Yeah, but saying that, another story which came up this week was the fact that Titanfall on Xbox 360, it's been announced that it will be exactly the same as the one on on PC and Xbox One, just with a lower frame rate. I think the frame rate's around 30.
Yeah, no, that was their compromise, wasn't it? They were going to go for, it was between 720 and 1080 resolution, wasn't it?
Well, the one on 360. No, that was for Xbox One.
Oh right, okay. No, but I thought it was supposed to be the same, and it was just the frame rate they were changing.
Oh, I see. I think it is 720. I'm not sure.
No, it was a weird number. It was between 720 and 1080. And so that was like the compromise to get it to both platforms, I feel that was what happened. But I mean, yeah.
So you can argue they're not holding it back.
Well, no, they are. Because they've had to do that because of the previous generation.
I guess, but they did prioritize PC and Xbox One, didn't they? And they left the Xbox 360
I don't know
release later.
They did not prioritize PC. They definitely did not do that. They prioritized Xbox One.
I want to hit your loot hoarder.
But yeah. So, yeah. Well, because I mean, the 360 version of Titanfall's been delayed forever. It's been delayed by like a whole month now.
I don't.
Since it was supposed to come out. No, it's coming out later this month. I think even maybe this week. I feel that might be a thing.
So much salt.
You and your bloody secrets.
Oh yeah, another. It was not really news, but thing related to Titanfall on Xbox was the wait, what's gonna happen here? Oh yeah, it's gonna get sniped. Was the what was it, Callum? I was gonna talk about. Oh yeah, the Xbox cloud service. So they're playing quite a fundamental part in the life cycle of, you know, the Xbox One and the 360, because apparently I read that Titanfall wouldn't have been possible if not for the cloud service, because they did stuff like the AI.
I would quite possibly see how that's a thing.
So it's interesting to see where, you know, Microsoft's going in that direction. And
well, yeah, I guess it's kind of necessary. You don't want to have to save all your data on your console, because that like halves the amount of games you can store in it.
Can't do anything.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's a perfectly logical thing. I mean, there is the whole thing about, oh, but what if the cloud data messes up and then I lose all my saves? And yeah, I guess that's a thing, but honestly, it's not that big of. It's not exactly a common occurrence. I mean, if it does happen, then it won't be because the company hosting the service has messed up. It's because someone will have tried to do something to that from an external. And that's not exactly easy to do.
I don't know as well how much, or whether or not the saves will be on the cloud as well. Like, I don't know what they're doing with it.
Well, at the moment, isn't it? You have local saves and cloud saves. I think that's...
Maybe, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, well, moving on to sort of related news, well, in a very distant way. Amazon came out and launched their prospective product that's like a TV product and a games console in one.
Can't remember what it's called. Can you remember?
It's like Amazon. It wasn't called Amazon TV because they decided that would be too similar to Apple TV or something.
The interesting thing they've done with it, well, what it is, from my understanding, is that it's like a load of small games. It's not like proper games.
Well, they've got Sonic. They've got
From what I saw from the store, that it was like just small, like kind of iOS games, Android games. You know, you get on like your mobile and stuff.
There were a couple of. I mean, they're doing more classic stuff like Sega, and I don't know about Nintendo. So obviously Sonic, but there was another one. There was a fairly recent one that was on there. I can't remember what it was though.
I'm not sure. What they did say though was that they are not competing with
No, I mean
Sony
it's primarily a TV thing, right? A little bit like how Apple TV works.
Yeah. Amazon specifically said they were competing with people like Apple and I can't remember who else, but they were not competing with like the console market.
Yeah, I mean there have been like a bunch of alternate consoles being released fairly recently. I mean, none of them are perhaps aiming to do anything on the scale of like mainstream consoles. So I don't know.
I'm screwed in this game. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, as like moving on from this whole like, you remember like the cloud save thing. We're definitely moving towards like a more like online style of like gaming now, because I mean even Origin has, I mean, I don't know if you were previously aware, but they would sell hard copies of games on Origin. Like you could order a disc version of whatever game. And they've now since stopped that service.
Yeah, they did say though that 99% of people use digital only.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless you really like your physical collection, I guess. It's like, yeah, I mean, aside from consoles, I mean, even consoles are shifting more towards the buy online market.
So, yeah, I mean, definitely. The PS Store and the Xbox thing.
Yeah,
and whatever.
I mean, I think it's inevitable.
I thought
it's like music. Physical copies are being phased out, or have pretty much been already.
People, I was going to say people are too lazy to go to shops, but then they just order off Amazon, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought to be honest, it would have phased out ages ago with, with Steam, and everyone loves Steam, it's so convenient and stuff.
No, for PC, certainly. I mean, I don't know the last time anybody bought a physical copy of something for a PC.
But I just thought the consoles would go the exact same way as Steam. But
consoles is slightly different, though, because the downloading on consoles isn't as easy or as effective as it is for PC. And honestly, lots of gamers like their physical collection. Like, you have a whole shelf dedicated to games. Like, oh, I can play this.
I guess, yeah, that's true.
Whereas PC, you're not going to disk drive, put it in, wait for it to load up. It's not quite the same, is it?
It's still the 8 gigabytes.
Yeah, just people aren't bothered for this stuff.
Oh, and also EA as well are doing the, what's it called? You were talking about sales.
Oh yes,
not sales.
Oh, I'm done. Oh, I'm a donut. Oh, I'm such a donut. Okay. Yeah, no. Origin now do this thing called On the House, which is very similar if you have, I think it's PS Plus.
Yeah.
Where you get a free game every month. And so, for example, this month it was Dead Space, the original game, but the difference is you don't need to pay subscription fees. It's simply for having an Origin account. And I thought, yeah, brilliant. I've actually done something decent. However, I don't know what other games they're going to put on there because there aren't actually that many EA games on Origin. And I don't know about the quality of games, if they'd still be as good.
To be honest, knowing EA, they're probably going to put the shittest game in the world. I mean, Dead Space was good, but
yeah,
they'll probably put a 40th ranked game in there or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Oh no.
Infernal.
That leopard gnome is going to kill me. Unless, no, I can kill you maybe. Can I?
You might actually beat me because I fought once.
That turn.
God damn it. I hate secret decks so much. I so hate secret decks. If I was smart, I'd have played my Leopard Gnome first, and your trap would have killed it, and then it would have killed you.
What a turnaround. Anyway, news of the week.
Yeah, more news. If any of you remember from a couple of weeks back, Amy Hennig left Naughty Dog. She was the lead writer behind all of the Uncharted games.
I believe it was Mary Hennig.
You're funny. You're so funny.
References.
But yeah, and so basically she has now gone to Visceral Games, who are working on the Star Wars franchise.
I think it's been kind of semi-leaked that maybe the next game she's working on is Republic Commando 2. Maybe. Or maybe it's
I heard that. I mean, I do remember that, was it Star Wars Sector 343 or something? Where it was a bounty hunter game. And that got dropped by the developers. Which
wasn't it
everyone was really sad about.
1313 or something?
1313, yeah. That was it. 343. That's 343 and Bungie, my bad. Whatever. Yeah. 1313. And that was, everyone was really hyped for that. I mean, I think there's been news in the work of a new Star Wars Battlefront, and maybe I think that was the last I heard in. So,
really?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. Honestly, I mean, Star Wars does focus heavily on its storytelling and its world, its universe. So, I think she's entirely suited for that kind of thing. And hopefully, it'll help their good games become great.
I would really be interested in another Star Wars Battlefront game. I love that game on PS2.
Yeah.
But then again, that's not got much story, so I don't know what she'd be doing.
Well, I don't know. She might bring the story to the franchise. I don't know. I would. I think that'd be quite cool.
God damn your taunt. I'm gonna kill you.
Okay. On to the last couple of stories. I mean, in a recent kind of not an announcement, but like a comment from Square Enix, who are like the developers behind Deus Ex, I believe, and Final Fantasy, of course. They've said they're returning. Yep, they said they want to return to their Kingdom Hearts JRPG roots. God, put that in my head. They want to return to their JRPG roots, basically.
So lots more Final Fantasy.
Which lots of people will be really happy about, I think.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I never played. I've got to say, I've never been interested in Final Fantasy. It doesn't really appeal to me in the slightest. In the same way that kind of Metal Gear didn't appeal to me, because games don't need to make sense, but those just made no sense.
If I'm honest, I'm not really keen on the combat in Final Fantasy, but
I mean, no, that's just a spectacle fighter, isn't it? Like combos and all that.
It was turn-based, but they made it like real-time turn-based, if that makes sense. It's difficult to explain.
Oh, right, so it went from like less of a fighter to more of like a brawler kind of thing.
It's weird. It's not like a button mashy thing, like you've got to... I can't explain it. It's not turn-based, but... It's got turn-based elements in it, like you select which attack you want to do and...
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, to me, I'm not exactly, like, over the moon about that news. I mean, I'm not negative about it, but I'm just like, I don't really mind. But lots of people are going to be really happy about that, I think. I think there haven't really been that many JRPG-style games of late. They've kind of gone out of favour.
The reason why they did it was because of the success of a 3DS game. What was it called? Bravely Default, I think?
Bravely Default. I heard the name. I mean, I don't pay much attention to handheld at the moment, so I probably glossed over that.
But they did say it because of its success. That was the reason why they...
Yeah.
And also another reason for it was the fact that they didn't think Hitman Absolution did too well.
Hitman Absolution...
They said in an interview that...
Well, I heard Hitman was going back to its more sandboxy style roots. Like...
They said... I can't remember who was interviewed, but he said that... what did he say? The team was under pressure to get more people into the franchise, if that makes sense. So they weren't appealing to the core fans, they were trying to appeal to...
Right, yeah. Which is a little bit
new people.
Kind of what Deus Ex the Fall did, I mean, by moving to mobile and then being ported to PC.
And so they said...
And everyone slated it because it should never be done.
So they said because of that move to try and appeal to the audience instead of appeasing the core audience, it didn't do too well, and...
Yeah, I mean...
And it was loads of pressure for the team to, change it.
I can imagine Hitman not exactly... well, it was fairly popular, but I mean, I can't imagine it having, a very large, hardcore audience.
I didn't think it was a bad game, to be honest, but...
I mean, I haven't actually played any of it yet.
Haven't you?
No.
I played quite a bit, but I got stuck on it, so...
Oh, look at you, typical quitter.
I ended up doing that thing where, in stealth games, even if you're caught, you just try and run to the end of the level so the next level loads.
Oh, that's kind of what I had when I first started playing Skyrim. I was quite bad at it, and where you have to infiltrate the Thalmor embassy, I just got... Because I thought... I actually took it seriously when it says you can only take a few bits of gear in, so I took a dagger. And I just couldn't do anything to any of the guards because they had elven armor and stuff, and I was like, oh god, this is not going well.
Wow.
Long story short, I was a bit of an idiot.
That's a surprise, Cannon.
Hey, you just have to look at our latest video to see who's the idiot.
Don't even bring that up.
Alrighty, okay, moving on to our last piece of news. GTA 5 got some announcements this week. They said that, there's going to be an update that allows you to have you can have up to two properties with two garages. They didn't specify if the garages are going to be different or not, though. So, I don't know if you can have more vehicles. Most likely not, in my opinion. And the other thing they mentioned was that heists should be coming in, quote, quote, spring.
So another thing they also, a small thing, but they're also adding new cars and missions as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah, the heist is the main thing.
I mean, I was rather skeptical of when they said, you know, the whole new property, new garage. I mean, from what I've seen, that you're not going to be able to get multiple. Like, you can't have like double the amount of cars. I don't think it works like that. But yeah, and also heists, vague spring. I mean,
you didn't play the single player, did you?
No, I don't own consoles. Of course not.
Yeah, heists were a really enjoyable part of the game, but
yeah, I mean, well, I sat through one with a friend, and that seemed to be really fun. I mean, but
I'm curious as how it's going to work in multiplayer.
No, as to why it's been left so late. I mean, they promised all this stuff on release, and they've delivered on barely any of it.
Maybe it's because of the PC release. But
yeah, they've been developing the PC release all this time. Oh, Rockstar doesn't work like that. I mean, name the last good PC port they did.
Do you know why I think it is, to be honest? Because they got their money, then they're just like, we don't need to like add this stuff.
I mean, Rockstar doesn't strike me as a kind of company that would do that. I mean, you look at stuff like LA Noire, Red Dead Redemption. Those are really, really nicely done, polished games. GTA 5 in itself was a polished game, but the multiplayer was just not what they said.
But they did. They sold what they needed to sell. I mean,
yeah, no, it's. I don't think that, and I mean, I don't think any games company, apart from maybe EA, I mean, their whole reputation, would do that kind of thing too. Like, games companies always want to deliver on their products. It helps their IP. It helps their reputation. By sitting there and like just sitting on money, that's not really a productive or constructive way to like build on a company's future. You what?
Look at stuff like COD. I mean, they don't do anything to like further improve their game. They make their money.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's a very good example, honestly. COD is derided for being COD. No other game is pretty much spewed out as machinically.
I swear I killed the thing first, then put the Divine Shield on. No, but my point is the fact that Rockstar are doing a COD. They've made their money. They don't need to do anything else.
They're not churning out a game every year that's a piece of crap and then just tagging on and then just like re-releasing the multiplayer. No, that's not what they're doing at all.
Well, the single player is the main part of the game anyway. So
of GTA?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
But
look at GTA 4. All the longevity of GTA 4 was its multiplayer.
Well, obviously, but...
Well, obviously, so what's your point?
No, I mean, obviously the longevity is going to be multiplayer because you're going to complete the single player, and then you're going to be done with it. But the point is this, you didn't rate GTA like in the 90s because of its...
That was in the 90s, it's developed as a game since then. You know, in the 90s, multiplayer wasn't really a thing.
90s as in score. The point is the people who rated it, right? Like games reviewers and stuff, didn't rate it highly because of the multiplayer.
People bought it because of the multiplayer elements and everything they promised. I mean, the world looks spectacular, sure, but you don't buy a game just based on graphics. I mean, otherwise everyone would just buy Crysis.
True.
No. I think you've given a poor example, to be honest.
Well, I think you think too highly of Rockstar.
I don't. I mean, maybe it's partly the fact that they're a pretty like big developer, as in like in terms of people working there. So everything's logistically harder to get done.
Maybe.
Oh, you're bloody. But yeah, so well, we'll see how that turns out. I mean, if heists flop, I think Rockstar's going to get a lot of backlash.
But again, they've made their money, so who cares?
Well, how well will the next game sell? So anyway, yeah, like I was saying, that is not exactly the best way to build a company by just saying, "Oh, we've made a game. Oh, we're done. Let's just flop." That's
True.
not how companies work. Companies work to expand and grow.
But in the real world, Callum, companies want to make money, and if by
Yeah, but companies want to make more money.
but they're not making more money by the multiplayer, only by the microtransactions in the multiplayer.
No, but but you're saying if they don't need to care about the next game because they've made all their money. If they flop,
No, it care about
if
the next game.
multiplayer flops
Mm.
and everything goes to Rockstar earns a crappy reputation, their next game will not sell.
But they haven't earned a crappy reputation. It's like people
Yet.
saying like it's the best game of the century, and that's because of the single player, not the multiplayer.
Well, that's an opinion that I don't agree with anyway, for starters. I don't think that's a widespread opinion. People liked it. They don't certainly think it's the best game of the century.
Some people did.
Some people. That's not representative of a fair share of those purchases.
Mm. Well, I think that about wraps it up for this week's news.
Yes.
Yep. As usual, if we've missed anything,
Leave a comment.
be sure to moan, yep.
Uh-huh.
And
And we'll see you on Monday for Minecraft.
bye.